This is what I do if I started a business now, and it looks dramatically different from what I would have done 3 years ago because of AI. If you want to start a business, now is the best time, but beware of two things: fear and greed. If you let fear control you during this AI revolution, you'll end up complaining and procrastinating, and one day you'll wake up realizing you missed the perfect timing because you didn't believe in yourself and blame it on how fast the world is moving. If you want to complain, be a stand-up comedian and do it in a Netflix special. Don't do it in my comments. AI doesn't have feelings, but I do. If you let greed control you, you will fall for every get-rich-quick trap, and 3 years later you won't have money, but you will get a good lesson. The mindset you should adopt right now is replace fear with curiosity and replace greed with empathy. Just see how far it takes you. Hey, I'm Aliana. If you like design, tech, and business, subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss this beautiful soul. Most brilliant and hardworking designers I know graduating from Ivy League schools, Beida Tsinghua IIT, which is just the Chinese Indian version of Ivy League but harder to get in than the actual Ivy League. These people all have 5 AI SaaS business side projects on top of their full-time job at Meta. 1 dog, 1 cat, a house, a husband, and a kid. I don't understand how much more money they want because they're already working at Meta, and I have no idea how they manage their time. And the next point is what you want to take note of. Their side businesses don't make a cent. They lose money on them because they all make the same mistake. They start building way too soon before proving the problem is real and people are willing to pay to get the problem solved. And why do so many people fall into this trap? Because at their full-time job, they're brilliant at building and they build on products that already have billions of users. Every feature they ship instantly makes millions of dollars. And they think, what if, just what if, that $20 million I made by adding another button, what if it all goes into my pocket and I'm the business owner? Do you see the greed here? That was me. But startups don't work the same because your Cutie Pie LLC is not Meta. And here's what you're gonna do. If you have ideas, send out 10 invites for a 30-minute coffee chat to real, living human beings who might relate to the problem you found. Be a great listener during these chats and keep the conversation around the problem you want to solve, not the brilliant solution you think you already have. Let's identify the right problem first before jumping 1 step ahead. Talk to actual human beings, please, because you're gonna sell to actual human beings soon. If you don't have ideas, here are 2 directions you can take. The first one is more B2C. You'll focus more on your day-to-day life and take notes on the frictions you experience. This can relate to your wellness, your travel, your kid, your dress, your dog, your desk, whatever. And this direction is simple to build, but slower to monetize. It might be more fun than the next one, which is more B2B. And for this next one, you'll focus on your workflow and take notes on the frictions you experience in your workflow. And it can be very industry specific. For example, as a content creator, when I work with an editor, the hardest part is always sound editing. And I pay so much money every month for just 1 AI software just for it to clean the soundtrack of my video. And since you're observing a very industry-specific problem, the solution can be a little bit more technical and harder to build, but you need fewer customers to monetize and you're likely to have a higher priced product. You can also just pick 2 ideas from both paths if you want, but make sure the scope you pick is extraordinarily small. You want your business to be a painkiller, not a vitamin. So just in case you wonder, is my problem a little bit too vague? It is. Is my problem a bit too large? It is. You don't want something like, people feel unfulfilled and experience a lot of mental illness because of the modern lifestyle. No. You want something like, creators are spending hundreds of dollars to clean their audio because their refrigerator, AC, dog, kid, and husband make such a loud noise whenever they're recording. And please talk to at least 5 people for each problem. You can test 2 to 3 problems and you want to validate. Do other people also identify these problems? If so, who are these people? What are they doing to get these problems solved right now? And how much are they willing to pay to get the problem solved faster? And you also want to use ChatGPT and Google to research what other products are out there and how come these people you talk to don't use these products. And after these interviews, you may pivot to one out of the few problems you tested and iterate again. You might get a bit disappointed by the result, and that's the whole point. Get disappointed fast. You don't want to get all your coding buddies, PMs, and designer friends working in Google, Amazon, TikTok into a team, building your brilliant idea from scratch for 2 quarters just to realize you are solving a problem people don't care about in the first place. Now that you got a real sellable problem, the next step is to create an MVP. MVP stands for minimum viable product, not most valuable player. We're in the business world, not the NBA. An MVP is the most basic version of your product that still solves the problem, and you use it to test ideas fast. So if your problem is gluten-free New Yorkers can't find suitable pizza, so they are sacrificing their lives eating non-gluten-free ordinary pizza, then your MVP is definitely not renting a storefront in Manhattan, hiring 5 chefs, and signing a 5-year lease, unless you have $150 million and you have no idea how to spend them. Demo it to me. Instead, your MVP can be something like, go to your kitchen, try to make a tasty gluten-free pizza for your mom, and see if it's feasible. And for every problem you identify, you can come up with multiple ideas. And that is why every step in the startup journey feels like iterating between divergence and convergence. First, you generate lots of ideas and directions, and then you narrow it down and pick 2 to 3 options to test fast. If your solution is the software, here's how to build your MVP in 1 day or even just an hour. You're going to use a vibe coding platform, and this part is exactly why starting a business today is so much easier than 3 years ago. I'm going to use Bolt to demonstrate, sponsor of today's video. Click the link in the description and you'll see this. And you use Bolt like Aladdin's magic lamp. Make a wish here and it builds an app for you. It is really just that simple. You can see that my input here isn't technical at all, but Bolt is still working hard to build something for me. And depending on how specific your prompt is, the result may look very different, but you can always iterate later to make it closer to your exact envision. Oh, and this is what Bolt created on the first go. I'm actually surprised that it builds a login system for me, but I personally don't need that for the MVP because I think it hides the product, so I would just ask Bolt to remove this login flow. And ta-da! This is what I get. This product is a short planner and it looks pretty close to what I envisioned. Let's try inputting a TikTok link here. I don't really expect it to analyze the video for me because that would require extra settings, API setup, and all that, but I do expect it to generate some placeholder tags so I can show my audience what this tool may look like in the future. And if I need investment, this can also work as a demo. And it did create something. Great. The table is scrollable and editable and the menu flow works. That's awesome. And now with my brilliant designer brain and good eye, I can already see how this can be improved. I'll just simply make a list and let Bolt do the work for me. Is it gonna read my mind and build exactly what I want in one go? My husband doesn't even read my mind, so let's be patient. No-code tools like Bolt honestly changed the startup world forever. 3 years ago, you need to secure a $1 million check from a Silicon Valley VC and have a group of software engineers in San Jose to build a SaaS business. But now, you just need a no-code tool subscription. That reduces the cost by thousands of times. And this is why there's no better time than now to start something. Just make sure that when AI is doing the work, you don't get too distracted looking at my Instagram feed. After a few more iterations, this is what Bolt built for me. And it's pretty much what I have in mind to test in the market. For Bolt, you will have some free tokens to start with, but it's very likely you'll run out of tokens and you need to upgrade. And I opted for the cheapest option. And look how far I was able to take this MVP. Before I launch this to a domain where everyone can test the tool, I like to add an embedded Google form for people to join the wishlist. This is really simple to make and Google form is also free. I'll set this form to get verified emails so that I don't get spammed. I'll also add more explanation about the product and I also ask the audience for demographic information and feedback. Then I'll ask Bolt to add a floating box of disclaimers and add this link. This is the final result. If you hit publish in the top right, your MVP is done. You can now send this link to anyone for feedback or pre-sell the product. Isn't this like magic? Click the link in the description to try out Bolt and thank you Bolt for making this video possible. Now that you have your MVP, what is the next step? Is it time to finally call your smartest friends, form a team, sign a contract, find the prettiest girl you know and ask her to start an Insta page and register a Delaware C Corp in the States? I don't think so. I think you should start pre-selling. Pre-sell with your MVP as a demo and promise a full refund if it doesn't get built within a certain timeline. This way, you build your audience, test if they are actually willing to pay, and create a little bit of financial cushion. But most importantly, you take on the responsibility to make this happen. Easier said than done. This is the hardest part I experienced, and let me tell you, it will be a struggle, especially if you are a designer or a software engineer. Because building a product is one thing, but selling it is a completely different thing. It may take you hundreds of calls just to secure that first paying customer. You might make hundreds of stupid TikToks before one performs well and gives you a little bit of traction. You may need to send out an email to your list every other day, and you may become the cringe person on LinkedIn that you used to hate, posting motivational quotes every other day followed by your startup story because you are building in public. You need visibility to get clients, and you need to ask people to pay to sustain a business, and you will feel like a fraud and a clown. And this is when 99% of people finally realize that, oh, there's a price behind this good deal of doing what you love, owning every decision, being the boss, making money with no limit, and being called a business owner or entrepreneur. And that is when a lot of people realize that their full-time job at Meta might not be that bad. And that's also why I emphasized at the beginning of the video, if you're greedy, all you'll get after this journey is a lesson. Back to some practical tips. Number 1, use an oversubscribed strategy. Daniel Priestley explained in his book Oversubscribed. Read it, it feels 10 times better and lighter to run an oversubscribed business than an undersubscribed one. The idea is that you spend more time building up the interest. And let's say there are 20 people on your wish list that are willing to pay for your product, only release 10 spots in your first pre-sale round and make that clear to them. This makes your business attractive. It also gives you a peace of mind because you know there are people waiting for the next batch, so you don't get too desperate. We do dumb things when we're desperate, and people don't like desperate businesses. Number 2, get emails. You may opt for social media marketing, but make sure your strategy is tied to collecting audience emails so that you can contact them easily. Unless you use ManyChat for Instagram, but I'm not a ManyChat expert yet, so please research by yourself. Number 3 is keep testing. And let's not frame this pre-sale round as a binary thing, either fail or succeed. Instead, you can test 2 strategies at a time and continue to pivot and see which strategy works better. And this brings out the empathy and curiosity within you instead of the desperation. If you're selling a high-ticket product or service, you might just need 10 clients to move to the next step. But if you're selling a low-ticket or mid-ticket product, I like to aim for 100 pre-sale customers. Ticket just means price, I forget to mention. I don't know why they say this. And if you realize your product doesn't sell, it is really normal. Go back to the previous step and iterate. If you get through the first 3 points in this journey, the rest will come so much smoother because you now have a promise to fulfill. And step 4, you turn your MVP into a full working product. Bring in the sign up and login flow, make every feature functional, whether with AI, coding it yourself, or hiring a software engineer. Make your system secure, build a landing page, make payment available on the landing page, set up admins, all that. However long you think this step might take you, double that when you promise your customers in the last phase. New business owners are often delusional about how fast we can build. You just never know what may happen. And very often, you'll perform the core service manually before building full automation or software around it. And this is called manual first approach. Take note on this. So let's say I'm building a Shorts Copilot, and I promise this will increase the efficiency for Shorts creators. Instead of delivering the full app right away, I might just set up some calls with these pre-sale customers, do one-on-one sessions on Shorts planning, create their spreadsheets for them, and analyze the video myself, be like the AI, since the AI feature isn't ready yet. It works because when people buy, they want the result, not necessarily the way to get to the result. So if you're genuine and helpful enough, they might even be happier than using a soulless tool. But after 1 or 3 batches, your tool should be very functional, or else you'll be stuck doing labor. Your goal is to have a tight product that solves user problems in a way that's not just effective, but also enjoyable and more efficient than what people are currently using. Test fast and fail fast. You don't need any wishlist features in the get-go. Focus on the happy path. You also want to build it in a way that's secure and scalable for the future. And this is also the step where you may realize that you need to hire people. There's always going to be a point where using real talent is better than using AI in terms of production. For admin work, you start manually, and your job is to make the admin side more automated, whether it's through AI or Zapier. If you've worked in marketing or sales, when I say the word funnel, you should feel like throwing up. It's something you have to build, iterate, and maintain all the time to sell your product. It is that important. Basically, you need to think of a pathway to make your target buyers know you, trust you, buy your product, and stay. It's called a funnel because every step in the process you are losing people. Not everyone who knows your product will buy it. Not everyone who buys your product will keep paying for that subscription. Building a working sales funnel may even take longer than building the product. So please plan ahead and do not underestimate the work you need to do here. I suggest you to test 2 to 3 strategies at a time. And when I started Fast Track UX, I tested organic marketing versus paid ads and realized organic marketing performed way better. And then tested YouTube versus LinkedIn versus Instagram and realized YouTube performed way better. And then tested YouTube versus SEO and realized YouTube worked way better. Your business is different from mine, so you may find the exact opposite to be true. I know a lot of designers and engineers still think that building a great product is the most important thing in business. I'm a designer, and I love building products. But my friend, a great product with zero awareness still equals zero. No selling, no money. If you hate selling, you can outsource it, but you cannot ignore it. So many people love the idea of having a passive income and think starting a business means that you just need to work hard in the beginning, and once you've created a system, the business will run by itself. And now you just get this endless flow of money. When you're sleeping, money's coming in. When you're cutting papaya, money's coming in. When you're binge watching a stupid Chinese reality show, money's coming in. Wake up. My friend, if you start a business purely out of greed, all you will get is a lesson. Sure, let's say you build a perfect product and a perfect sales funnel, and you automate and outsource every single step. You found a perfect product market fit. But here's one very, very important thing. The market is not static. Your gluten-free pizza lover may suddenly realize pho is gluten-free already and tastes like heaven. Your matcha guru may learn that 大龙袍 is so much better. Your productivity guru may decide to screw productivity. Party now. The market is not static. That is why you need to continue to iterate and adapt, or else you run out of business. Whether you find this process fun and rewarding or daunting and draining, it's your choice. Do you choose to stay curious and empathetic, or do you choose fear and greed? One day you will say goodbye to your business, and I hope you say goodbye in a good way. A great option is to sell your business. To sell at a good price, you need to find a good broker. You also need to maintain clear and organized financial records, have valuable, clearly documented and patented business assets, have an organized, well-documented management and operational system and team. Basically, the business should be able to run the same way without you. I haven't sold a business yet, so who am I kidding acting like I know stuff? I'll just recommend a book, Build to Sell. It will give you a better idea. I remember so clearly the day I registered my business and set up my startup bank account at Mercury. Seeing all those legal documents and credit cards with Aliana Tsai LLC printed on them, I was just like, this is real now. I'm about to build a legacy. It felt so exciting. And honestly, every step in this process felt either very exciting or very rewarding. When it's a small win, it's exciting by default. And when it's a small failure, it just teaches me another lesson, either about business or about myself. More lessons about myself, to be honest. The freedom is real. I can literally do anything right now, as long as it's legal. If I want to travel to Thailand tomorrow, I can. If I want to stay in tech, I can. If I want to screw all this and become a stand-up comedian, I still can. So it's like, I can do anything. And at the same time, what am I gonna do? You can spend 1 quarter writing a business plan, but I swear, just after one day, you'll be confused. Building a business is messy. It's like swimming in mud. Nobody knows all the answers, but we just keep going anyways. So enjoy every surprise, every lesson, every step along the way. There is no destination. We'll all end up dying. The journey is the whole point. And when you are in doubt and don't know what to choose between different options, roll a dice. It's your business, your path. The floor is you, the ceiling is you, the challenge is you, the competition is you, and the reward is you. So motivational. Let's make a deal. Comment where you are now in terms of your business and where you want to be in 3 years. Then add a calendar invite for 3 years from today and paste this video link. After 3 years, come back and tell us what happened. I swear you will be amazed. If you like today's video, please turn on all notifications and thumb up. And I also summarize everything I like in a PDF guide in the description. My name's Aliana. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you'll also like this one. I will see you there. And I will end today's video with this clip from my life.